Hello, people, and today we have Ludin Rusi, the famous Russian blogger who posted the famous video about the no forest on Earth, which gained almost 400,000 views. And if we count all the videos that were mirrored from this one, we probably have the million one. So, Ludin, how are you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm pretty fine. So, what is your real name? Could you tell us, please?
My name is David.
Oh,
I'm from Vladivostok.
Vladivostok is far east. It's close to China and Japan. So maybe. So it's the Pacific coast of Russia, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, could you please tell us how did you came into this topic? So, how did you find out all this information about this history, and what is your view on the history?
How came I came to this topic when I studied conductive of carbon of trees because it was pretty surprise for me that we can speed the growth of trees by using electricity, you know. And while I studying the topic of what trees are, because some people, uh, how it to say, they see common things, but they uh,
They're like zombies, right?
no, not like zombies, but how to explain it?
Like,
Things that are not common, they are looking at them like something that it should be there. Uh, it's hard to tell on English, so
you can say it in Russian. I'll translate to the people.
в общем, многие люди на самые такие простые вещи смотрят очень трудно. То есть они преувеличивают некоторую сложность вещей, хотя это не так. И наоборот, на очень трудные вещи они смотрят просто, как само собой разумеющиеся. То есть, например, деревья. Ну и что? Ну, растут, да, под окнами. Хотя сам факт того, что дерево может расти, то есть представьте, одно семечко маленькое, посаженное в землю, потом превращается просто в целую сеть оптических кабелей, которые могут передавать электричество, чтобы потом из этого электричества сформировать фрукт. То есть то,
Okay.
что можно потом как бы опять в электричество перевести. То есть это просто безумие на самом деле подумать сам факт, что деревце может вырасти.
Okay, David
You know?
just said that we look in pretty simple and complex things, like if we try to find out how actually the trees grow and how they connect to each other and how they gain all this earth soil-based electricity waves, and they connect them into some networks, and those networks give the signals, and so the frequency produces the fruits, and so the trees can populate and grow. Am I right, David?
Yes.
Okay.
So when I began to study it was explosion in my head because it was everything overturned in my head because trees are not what we supposed to know.
Okay. So, and you are kind of related to some electricity physics research, right? And which connected to some trees and carbon research, right?
Yes, but if you want to know what I think about our history,
Mm-hmm.
either I think about our physics, chemistry, I think that we have nothing at all. We know nothing at this point. Maybe we knew it some thousand or hundred years ago, but now we know almost nothing.
So what do you think the cause of this? Why are we so stuck on physics, and why our level of knowledge is so low? What is the cause of this?
You know, that video where Neil deGrasse Tyson said about flat Earth that it's a failure of educational system. I agree with him. It's a big failure that we have it in our schools from our when we are kids. We are brainwashed so hard that I can't even have words to describe it.
Okay, so it's just the education, and you blame it all on system, right? So the guys who own the system, the owners of the system, the rulers of this world, they just fix us as a slave class, right?
Yes, pretty much it.
Okay.
And you know, I want to show something
Okay.
because
you
I
can
know
just press on demonstration of screen.
some days ago I thought that, you know, we have problems with history, some big problems, but I want to show something. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's loading. It's loading. Okay, I see Ray Higgins.
Yes, I found this guy because some days ago I thought that everything that Bible says is true. But when I watched his videos, I can't prove some points that he made. I just can't debunk it. I can't explain it, you know? And now I think that we have nothing. I don't know what the history is. I don't know even, do we relate it to this place that we are now here? We called it Earth. I don't even know.
Okay. Are you aware of this guy named Kungurov who tells about the nuclear war which occurred in 17th to 18th century, something like that? Have you heard about it?
Oh yeah, I've watched a couple of his videos. I can't say much things about him because, you know, he's talking about God, about his belief systems, because he's talking too much about politics, about our president. I can't describe it because I think that everything we see on TV is just a freak show. You know?
Yeah, I agree with you. Mainstream media is just like the extension of the education system you were talking about. They just continue to brainwash all those who are standing up and trying to find out what really is going on.
You know, one thing, I think everyone knows this guy.
Yeah.
And the fact is that there were at least 10 or maybe 15 guys that we see. It's not one guy.
Oh, okay.
And Kungurov is talking about Putin like he was a real guy, but with Putin we hear the same thing as Hitler. Lots of guys under the nickname Putin with many different ears, you know?
Yeah. So we have like a bunch of clowns who dress like Putin, look like Putin and telling us a bunch of things, so we can like think that Putin is great and stuff like that, right?
It's divide and conquer. One ship thinks that Putin is great, and one ship thinks that Putin is bad. But there is no Putin, as we know it. That is my point.
Yeah.
And it's you know, in every so-called country is same situation, and not only now. It was before, like this guy, Hitler.
So we think they double and multiply to do what? Why they do it?
I don't know.
So
Don't really.
the scandal with Hillary Clinton not far ago about when she was falling down at 9/11 Memorial Day, when she fell down, and then another Hillary Clinton went out to the store, so she like saying, "I'm pretty fine, I'm okay," and the real Hillary was taken in an ambulance and stuff like that. Did you hear about it?
No, but I don't know too much about Clinton, about Bush, because I was grown in different matrix, to say so. No, our Russian matrix.
You were living in the United States, right?
No, that is the problem. I don't know too much about Clinton because I was not grown in United States.
Okay. Well, maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, or your past, or something like that, if it's okay.
My past? No, you can ask me questions about my past.
So how old are you?
23 years.
23. Okay.
Uh,
So are you living in Vladivostok and you were born there, or you moved to this town?
yes, I was born in Vladivostok.
Okay. So Lori Frary told me that you were some like embassy working kid or something like that, or maybe she was wrong.
Mm, Once again, maybe in Russian I didn't understand.
Что якобы ты там в посольстве в каком-то жил, или что типа этого, или кто-то у тебя работал в посольстве, или дипломатом кто-то был. Лори Фрейри такая с Flat Earth Conspiracies Channel. Не помнишь?
Maybe, yes, I remember Lori. I sent a couple messages to her.
She actually promoted your video with Lawrence Wright, and they discussed it on Hangouts, and then it just blew up the internet, and everybody was trying to talk about it and making their own conversions, and they made a couple of book groups in Facebook which discuss only this ancient giant trees topic. You were like igniting this topic into United States. And
This topic was, that guy, how is its name? Who made videos about Сотовая земля?
Vyacheslav Kotlerov.
Котляров, yes, this fantasyr этот. It was a shock to me that no one out of our Russian matrix discussed this topic, and I felt like I must do it. It was hard for me because this information is full of crap, full of dirt. I tried to clean it as much as possible, and you see, it's hard to me to talk on English because it's not my native, but it was very hard, but I tried, so I made it.
Yes, you did a pretty good job. So telling us that it relates to this honeycomb model that we probably discussed in Flat Earth Society, the cellular structure of the Earth, which is related to octagon on hexagon system that you showed on this on your video, right?
Yes, but I do not fully trust Petlerov and his work because he is talking too much that we cannot prove or disprove. He is talking about that some light ones, or how it's to say. He said that there are dark people and light people.
And good
and
and
light,
evil, good and evil, right?
Yes, and light people gave to him this information. It's no, I can't trust this information because, if it is truth, how I can know that it was not dark people?
You can't.
Yes, he's talking too much about our gods, so-called gods, Perun, Thor,
Yes.
and so on, so on, so on.
Slavic and German gods. Yeah.
I cannot fully trust this information because so much occult is going on these topics, and I want to stay calm and not to lose my mind because these rabbit holes are so deep. There are so many tunnels in it, and we can easily lost.
Yeah, we can lose ourselves. So, are you aware of this flood in 19th, 17th, 18th century that probably occurred all around the world? You showed a couple of pictures in your video, which actually brought me to this topic because I'm on that time was researching the flood topic, and I saw you made some points on this flood. Do you have this in your own town, the flood evidence in your Vladivostok?
Of course, and I can even show it on Google Maps.
That'd be great.
It is funny because what is our cities look like? I will show you. You see hills, and it's not only in this place. There are hills everywhere. And the funny thing that near these hills is always, quarries.
The mining processes.
Mining
right?
processing.
Yeah.
Yes, and after they milled this piece of land, they leave this hill that then grow with vegetation, and it looks exactly like all the hills where we live, where our houses are built. The whole my city is just a giant waste of the quarries, of these mine activities.
So old Vladivostok is just the ruins of the ancient quarry terraces, right?
Yes, but you talked about houses that are deepening in the ground. I want to show you some houses that deepening several meters lower than ocean level, level of the sea. Yes, because all the sea, there was no the sea some maybe 100 years ago. I don't know. It's artificial sea, and I think it was used to flood all the territory that we are now living.
So like they hide the evidence of what they done, right? Like they put the water in and make a sea or lake or whatever, and just flood all these ancient civilizations, right?
Yes, it's insane because I can't relate can't relate on anything now. What is our history? Who lived before us in this town? Our grandmothers, grandfathers? No. Who lived there? Why these houses are lower than sea level? Who destroyed this city and all the people that lived there? See, these windows, and it's everywhere.
Yeah, we have it in Moscow. We have almost like a couple of layers of ancient civilization, and while they like rebuild and restruct the roads, they find out that there are just streets underneath them, streets of houses,
Yeah,
quarters,
yeah.
neighborhoods.
It's blows my mind. I don't know what our history were, but it's tell me that everything that we were told is a lie.
Yeah, and have you heard about the so-called cleaning? Like one civilization is done on this planet. The so-called owners of this planet come and clean things up. So they like flood everything, burn everything, like destroy everything, and just seed another civilization on the ruins of the previous one.
This, if it's true, it's too far in the time. We can't relate. It will be just speculations, and we can, go out of the road.
Yeah, but we got a bunch of pictures when, if you let me, I'll show it to you right now, and you just, maybe you haven't seen them.
So one thing,
Okay.
who built this in this style? What is it? Look, it's entrance. You go to enter this shop, you go under the ground. What the heck?
Yeah. Yeah, we have it in Moscow, we have it in Novosibirsk, we have it in Tomsk, St. Petersburg, we have it in Rome, everywhere.
Look at this.
Yeah.
What the?
And they tell it is a cultural layer. Like the guys from the threw out the like whatever from the windows, and it just laid on the ground, and then collected and collected, and the ground level raised up, and so we have what we have. It's not. It's stupid to say like that. Like they didn't clean the streets. They would just.
And look, this is ground, and I want to show you that here is our sea.
Okay, I see. This is sea level right here.
Yes, it's almost sea level. Вон. Просто безумие какое-то. Insane.
Yeah, crazy.
Okay, show what you want to show.
Let's see. I wanted to show. Can you see me? Do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to show you. It's buried in the mud. And like this. So like people are pretty small to the construction, right? So we can suppose that those bridges and those buildings were made by taller humans, the ones we call giants right now or whatever. So and we see it was abandoned, and there's no evidence of any like war or something like that. Maybe it occurred because it was just left by those guys. But it all covered with some dirt and mud. We can see the dirt level and mud level is pretty high because everything is with those huge uh, mud stokes. And we see the houses are pretty same as we can see right now, as in your town, as in Moscow, as in St. Petersburg. We see it, and it stands alone with this antique style, which they say is like 2,000 years ago with Roman or Greek style, and it can't happen like this because if you have such a unique antique architecture in your town, you're probably gonna uh, clean it up because you can't just leave it with the trees sticking out of these antique buildings. It only shows that those guys just abandoned their cities and left for some reason. Maybe it was a radiation, maybe it was some devastation, maybe it was like in some movies like Skyline, when these UFOs grab people and take them away, something like that. And after this, we can see small people walking around the streets and just gazing around, looking around, what the hell? And they just grab those artifacts, stick them to their collections, and just make a trade of them and destroy all of this architecture because we don't see this architecture right now. It's all destroyed. And 200 years passed. This picture was made in the late 17th century. This is the real pictures of real ancient painters. See the size of a skull? The size of a skull is almost the half of the size of a human. So we can see the people who lived here, who were lying in those graves, are a lot taller than we are. That's why they have such huge, enormous sizes everywhere. And these are murderers who probably just collected all these artifacts, and so like the conquerors or whatever, and they grabbed it. And these are guys that are ruling right now. These are guys so-called black, как они называются, короче говоря, черная аристократия, aristocrats, something like that, black aristocrats, who are right now all mixed up with the British and Jewish and banking and global governments. So as well, new world order, guys.
You know, I saw some people in the internet don't remember New World Agenda, something like that, and they are pushing idea that New World Order will come. New World Order will come. That it's not already there. It's not was that only last stage of the New World Order, because you know our passport identity. You know, we already have identical numbers. We already have medical cards. It's already there here, but you know this chip will be just the last stage.
Yeah, you mean the chip inside our documents and the hands?
Yes,
they say
yes.
in the Bible.
Yes, some people go crazy about this New World Order, but you know, we already in this New World Order. We already failed. But what I want to say, you mentioned that people were taller, giants.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I remember that it was normal to talk about Atlanteans. I remember this word, Atlanteans. Do you remember?
Yes, I'm talking about every time.
Because I remember that some books tell us about told us that time. Because I try to find some information now, and I can. And some maybe 10 years ago, it was everywhere. I could find it. Now it's almost silent.
So you think they cleaning it so we won't
Yes,
find out the truth, right?
yes,
This
yes.
this what I'm showing, just like in your town. See this huge amount of mud, and it's like a wave of mud which flooded this city, and they like cleaned up the streets just so they can barely walk around and do their stuff like trading and feeding and stuff. But see, they just cannot clean this amount, and they just left it over here. And we can see trees
Mm.
on those structures, on those objects, which tells us that this probably mm, about 100 years as this town was abandoned by the giants, and now these people living in the giant city, they have the infrastructure, and it's working, and they use it, just like I found this. Let's see, maybe in another picture stack. I found this working fountain, and it was still working as they uh, get maybe this one. Yeah, see, this is a water which obviously comes from some pipeline or something like that, and those guys are doing their uh, laundry here, and obviously it was some kind of pool or something like that, maybe some kind of palace, but they couldn't
Mm.
repair it. They put those wooden wooden stuff just to hold on, just so it won't fall off, and that's all they can do, because those people are not the real mm, masons of this place. You know, masons.
Mhm.
And they had
Yeah.
steel in 18th century. You know, the steel, the stainless steel, because this is
Пропадаешь. Прием, прием.
прием. Can you hear me?
Все, слышу.
Look at
Да,
this
да,
gate,
yeah.
and they had stainless steel in 18th century, which is impossible because it only was discovered in the late 19th century. So how could they have stainless steel in 18th century or even earlier? So that civilization was, like you say, more advanced than we are right now. They knew physics, they knew chemistry, they knew all those different things that we just trying to reveal right now. We think the iPhone is amazing device, but they had it like in Russian fairy tale when a princess says mirror mirror on the wall, you know, like небольшой свет мне зеркальце скажи, да всю правду доложи. Uh, this
Да,
was
да, да.
this mirror mirror on the wall is probably the iPad of the ancient people who just say, okay Google, who is the beautiful most beautiful girl today? Can you tell me? And it shows the search results, and it says this is one and this is one. So
Yes, I see. You know, I said that, remember Ray Higgins, that black guy that talks that Bible is just a tool of crowd control, that it's made some hundreds years ago. I don't want to throw away Bible right now just because I heard that Ray Hagen said to me, but I can't debunk him right now. I will put all my efforts now to research this topic, to search Bible more, because some points that he made, I just can't debunk them. And you know about this steel that you showed me. Don't know this book of Job. Do you remember how to say in English книга Иова?
Yeah, the book of Job, I guess.
Job. The God talks with Job about behemoth.
Hypopotamus. Okay.
Don't remember how to say in English, but there was a behemoth, hippopotam, and he talks about his bones like copper pipes, you know, медные трубы.
Yeah. Okay.
How can you imagine in these times of Job copper pipes, медные трубы? Это нужен металлопрокатный станок, завод. То есть, you know, of course, the civilization before us was advanced, even more. So-called technological progress is just a hoax for me. We are regressing. We are not progressing, but regressing for this point. We are not even standing on one place. We are regressing deeper and deeper.
Yeah, you're right. As I showed in one of my videos, I showed the tank, you know, just an ordinary tank of maybe the beginning of the 20th century, which may be looking like a three-head monster, like a dragon or something like that, because it shoots with some fireballs and it is pretty huge and destructive. Just like that, the hippopotamus or behemoth was described as an animal to a guy who never seen it, and it was probably a technical device with these copper lead pipes inside and maybe some unknown purpose that we just cannot imagine right now. Just like we saw ancient helicopters, tanks, and whatever on Egyptian walls. Like, you seen it in the videos, those ornaments of helicopters and planes and tanks on Egypt. Have you seen them?
Repeat once again, please.
Ну, вот, когда на египетских вот этих иероглифах встречаются танки, вертолеты, всякие самолеты и так далее. Изображение.
Yeah, I remember it, but you know, I can't trust this information for two reasons. First reason, you know, some of our researchers see some Russian roots in the Egypt, and this Ray Higgins guy, black man, he also found African roots from the Egypt. You know, the whole Egypt stuff is full of, you know, lies, tons of lies. I don't know what this Egypt was, who lived there, and you know, maybe some pyramids or hieroglyphs are hoax. I don't know, because you know that story when there was a tomb of some pharaoh, and one explorer showed this tomb to the world, and there were lots of, you know, mummies there, lots of stuff, and he was well known, he was in the newspapers, but then it appears that the guide showed a secret pass under the storm to him. And he, with his crew, brought all these mummies, all this stuff, old, to this place to show to the world that he discovered this. But it was a hoax. And I can't really trust the whole Egypt story because I don't know who lived there, what happened there.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, so maybe next time we're gonna be more prepared for our talk. Let's say maybe next time we're gonna talk about something else more specific. But it's okay for the first time because we don't have much time today. And it was great to hear you, David. And when I first saw your video, I was pretty amazed. And now I think that we have a lot in common. And thanks a lot for your attention and time today. And hope to see you and talk to you again. Maybe some questions will be asked in the comments so we can be more specific next time we gonna hang out and so on.
Yeah, quite a mess for the first time, but I'm glad to hear you all, to be there. Thank you very much.
Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot.
Все, добро, пока.
Пока. Ну, давай тогда